What's up guys, Everything Apple Pro here, and today I got an early look at the Samsung Galaxy S6, and in this video I want to talk to you guys about what it's like. Basically, give you a little bit of an overview of what it looks like next to an iPhone 6, how it feels, the first impressions of this thing. And I gotta tell you, first off, this thing isn't even out for another day. I actually was able to find this just by chance. One of the employees at Best Buy was setting it up, and they're like, oh yeah, go ahead and take a look at it. So really cool that I got an opportunity to see this a full day earlier. Now, if you guys walk into any Best Buy, any retailer, they will have these today or March 27th, so no worries about that. Now, initially, when picking up the Samsung Galaxy S6, the very first thing that went through my head was, wow, this thing is really thin. The engineers really did a good job on the design, and as much as I love Apple, I gotta hand it to the Samsung engineers. Now, I bet they were probably told to make it just a little bit thinner than the iPhone, because that's exactly what they did, 0.1 millimeters thinner than the regular iPhone 6. Now, this only applies to the Edge version, and that curved display actually gives an illusion of being just a little bit thinner. Build quality feels great. It's definitely a premium device now. There is no more plastic to be found. The back has this glass coating and it's very grippy. Now, one of the negatives is that it's a fingerprint magnet. You can just see all of your fingerprints, whereas on the iPhone, it's just aluminum, so you're not going to be able to distinguish fingerprints on it. It feels really good in the hand. Your fingers just curve around that edge, whereas on the iPhone 6, it's a little bit slippery, and the display on this thing is just vibrant. It looks so juicy. I mean, that's how I can describe it. It just looks so vibrant, so colorful. I absolutely love it. Of course, Samsung managed to pack a QHD display and that curved edge on both sides. Now, I got to tell you, firsthand using it, it's not so much for functionality as it is for the looks. It makes this device just gorgeous. I mean, I've never seen a phone that does this, well, besides the no edge on both sides. And man, once you see this thing in person, you'll be impressed. I really like the animation when sliding between apps. As you guys can see right there, they just flow. It's like a little waterfall on the edge of the phone. Looks really neat. Now, is it a gimmick? I don't know, but it looks great, so I don't even care. And there are actually some really cool features I can show you for the edge of the display. Once I get the device, I'll be doing a full review. Of course, there's that new and improved fingerprint sensor. You don't have to slide it anymore. It's more accurate, more like the iPhone. The display, guys, I just got to come back to it. That display is amazing. This is the best display I have ever seen. You'll be blown away by that AMOLED display, both in the dark and sunlight. It will be amazing. Now, notice the styling cues. On the bottom, we have speaker grills, pretty much microphones, and the headphone jack all in the same position. Strange that Samsung is moving in a more iPhone-esque direction. Expandable memory, removable battery, it's all been removed. It's like they hired an Apple engineer over at Samsung and they've converted the entire thing. There's really no denying this thing is just simply gorgeous, and the S6 Edge to me is more preferable than the S6. That curved display, it's really beautiful, and whether or not developers will make use of it, time will tell. Now, the S6 and S6 Edge isn't really meant to compete with the current iPhone 6. The release gap between Samsung and Apple is really skewed. They're both halfway in between each other, so one device will always be technically better than the other. Now, when I do get these both in hand, of course, I will be doing a much more comprehensive review in terms of speed, stability, camera, a whole bunch of things, basic usability features that you're going to need between these devices. Right now, I'm just giving you a rough overview between them, and I gotta say, first impressions are really good for the S6 Edge. Now, let's go ahead and head over to the Galaxy S6. Not a lot of people are going to want that edge, the extra features, and not to mention that the base model S6 is just a little bit cheaper. In most carriers, it comes out to about $100 cheaper. The S6 Edge variant, it's about $780 if you get it from T-Mobile, and that's a non-contract device. Same thing for the S6, is just $680. So it's about $100 difference on T-Mobile. There will be a difference on other carriers as well. And I just thought I'd mention that the wireless charger is actually really cool. I'm really glad that Samsung's put that wireless standard in both the S6 and S6 Edge. Something I'm really disappointed Apple hasn't done for the iPhone already. Who wants to be plugging in wires all the time? It's more convenient just to set your device down. So here's the S6. It's kind of a little bit more conservative version of the S6 Edge, a little bit more toned down. And if you really look close, you can definitely tell this thing takes so many styling cues from the iPhone. The entire border, the antenna breaks, this thing looks like the iPhone 4S version of an iPhone 6. But all controversy aside, this thing really is a good looking device. I don't know why Samsung's not offering those special emerald and topaz blue colors in America. I mean, we're not getting them, and most carriers won't even be seeing a gold Galaxy S6 or S6 Edge for a while, but the gold color will still be available before April 10th. Now, this thing is very similar to the S6 Edge. The only difference differentiating feature is, of course, that curved display and a few other minor features. Of course, I'm not really going to go into the software differences. There's a ton. I mean, it's Android versus iOS. But when it comes to speed, this thing is just fluid. It's fast. I mean, of course, it has that octa-core processor, technically a quad-core because only 4 cores are being used at one time, but cameras both look great. I won't actually be able to show you results until I do take pictures and the whole test, but gotta say it looks good on the actual camera. Of course, there's a lot of settings on the Android version. Power-wise, of course, this thing has 3 gigabytes of RAM under the hood, LPDDR4, iPhone 6 only DDR3, 1 gigabyte of RAM. And it's painfully evident when you're loading pages, none of them actually stay put. Whenever you open up any other page, it always refreshes, especially in the app switcher and Safari. Really annoying because of that low memory. And that's just about it, guys. So I just thought I'd give you a quick overview of the iPhone 6 versus the Samsung Galaxy S6, show you guys that the S6 is truly a great contender to the iPhone, and I cannot wait to get both of these devices in hand on the table, test them to see their true potential against each other. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Have a great day, and I cannot wait for the S6. Peace.